Hello, today I would like to show you how to use Seesaw as an assessment tool. In my classroom, I love to use Seesaw as a way for parents to be able to keep in touch with what we are doing in the classroom. However, it's also a great assessment tool and can be used as such, especially when you have a premium membership, because you can go in and you can actually grade the student's work by tagging certain skills, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. But first, I'm going to go over just some basics of Seesaw. So what I love about Seesaw is that every single student, as you can see over here, has their own journal, and I can upload things to their journal, or they can upload items to their journal that I have to approve. So over here, you'll see that I have my whole entire class. You can also create, since I'm only teach one class, I only have one, but if you are a teacher who teaches several different subjects or different classes, you can actually go in and add several classes, and all you have to do is click Create New Class right here. You choose your grade level and name your class, and then you can get started. The great thing about that is that if you do teach several different classes, it's quick and easy. All you have to do is click between the classes to upload new material. Okay, so now that you all kind of have had a quick rundown of Seesaw, I'm going to show you how you can print out the student code to use in your classroom so that your students can go ahead and get started in uploading items to Seesaw. So, first of all, to invite your parents, you click on Invite Families, and you can either print paper invites in any language that you so choose. All of my students' parents speak English, so I always click on English. And then you can print your paper invites, and it actually allows you to print a PDF of your QR codes. What I love about these printables is that it really allows parents, they give step-by-step instructions, and it also tells you who all is connected. So right here I can see everybody that is connected. I love to pull this up at conferences, because then if I see that one of my students doesn't have anybody connected, I'll print off their QR code to hand to the parent. But when you pull this up, you have your QR code, and it gives the parents instructions on how to connect their student journals. So that's pretty cool. Also, you can click on student code, and I have a couple of these student codes hanging up in my classroom so that my students can connect using their own device in my classroom, or the devices that I have provided for my students, my iPads. So all you have to do is print your class QR code poster, and this allows students to sign in and upload material to their own journal after logging in. So one of the ways that I love to use Seesaw in my classroom, and I'm going to scroll down to Presley because she uploads a lot of things to Seesaw. As you can see, I'll post my blog, any updates that I have, but students can also showcase their work, and this is the assessment tool that I want to start using more frequently in my room. I said last year that I was going to do this, but that is my goal for this 9 weeks, is to really implement this. So my students, they have a choice board that they do for for reading time, and they have different activities that they can do, and when they're done with them, they upload them to Seesaw so that I can check them quickly and easily. The great thing about this is that you can give instant feedback. Your parents can see it and they can like it or comment on it. I can go in and I can leave private teacher notes that are visible only to me. So if I were to post something that they needed to respond to on their own journal and they came in, I could just kind of write down a quick note for my grade book. And the children can't see that. The children and the parents cannot see that. Only I can access that. I could also record my comments if I wanted to. Another really cool feature that I learned about while I was a Seesaw ambassador, which is only available through a premium membership, but I think that this is a really cool feature, and if your whole entire school is on board with Seesaw, this would be a great way for you all to assess your students. So if you click on this little graduation cap right here, you can search skills and add new skills to tag what your students are learning. So the example that they have up here is place value in whole numbers. The subject would be math and the grade would be 2. Then in the quick codes, you can put in which standard that is, and you can rate your students' performance on whichever skill you choose to do. So that is a great way to really have those grades all in one place for different skills and to kind of organize your Seesaw like your grade book. You can also search skills that are already in here. So like if I wanted to search place value, for example, I could search, and since I don't have any in here, it's not going to pull it up. But if I were to add that new skill and I said place value and I clicked it and uploaded it, I would be able to find that later on. So I could click on here and I could give Presley or whichever student 1 out of 4 stars to grade that. Your info button tells you all those codes, so I could go back in and I could add those standards later on. And then I could give her a quick assessment and move on. So that's on there. That's available for the parents to see. Another great thing that you can do is you can also have folders. You can create folders based on subject areas, and this is also a great thing to do if your student's portfolio moves on with them throughout the school year, if your whole entire school uses Seesaw. So you could create folders for every single subject area, and all of their work would be compiled in those folders later on, and it's a great way to organize it. But I wanted to quickly show you all some of the things that my students do. So like I said earlier, this is a choice board activity. They were given a scenario and they had to create a pumpkin and a story to go along with it, and then they used Chatterpix, which is another wonderful app if you've never used it. They used Chatterpix on the iPads to make their pumpkin come to life. So this is the story that they came up with.
Hi, my name is Triangle. I throw triangles at people. He has a little bit of pink hair. He eats flies for dinner, lunch, and breakfast. He has lots of candy from stealing candy bags. He is a sneaky guy from a pumpkin, and I don't know why he steals candy from pumpkin.
So now I can go back after I've listened to it and I can say, I can leave a comment for my students for them to see. So I can post that and now they can see that on their journal. Another thing that I love to do is I can post little comments on here. So for example, I needed to know, the students needed to know their height and their address for something that we were doing in class. And so they can go on and they can type their comments in there. I've also used this to give them quick little assessments on different things. They can either respond to my thread or, like the girls did up here, they can upload a short little video or a picture of their work to show me their understanding. And it's a great, fun, interactive way for your students to be involved in showing you what they know. So if you've never used Seesaw, hopefully this helped you out, this little quick tutorial. And hopefully you will begin to implement it in your classrooms, because I know my students and my parents love to use Seesaw, and it's a great way to give that instant feedback for a quick assessment.